Hello, and welcome to Novel Summary. Today we are reading through The Handmaid's Tale, written by Margaret Atwood and published in 1985. This novel paints a chilling vision of a theocratic dictatorship that strips women of their rights and reduces them to their biological functions. It's a powerful, haunting story about resistance, survival, and the fragility of freedom. Let's dive into it. The story begins in a converted gymnasium. Red cloth banners hang on the walls, and armed guards patrol the perimeter. This is no ordinary school, it's a training center, and the women inside are being conditioned for a grim new life. Our narrator is Offred, though that's not her real name. In this world, names no longer belong to individuals. Offred simply means of Fred. She is property, a handmaid. Her role is simple and brutal, to bear children for powerful men and their barren wives. Offred's memories flood in. She remembers a time before when she had a husband, Luke, and a daughter. A normal life filled with love, work, and freedom. But that world is gone. The United States has fallen. In its place stands Gilead, a rigid, militarized theocracy born from environmental collapse and plunging birth rates. Women's rights were stripped almost overnight. No bank accounts, no jobs, no autonomy. Fertile women, like Offred, became state property. Offred now lives in the house of the commander and his wife, Serena Joy. Serena is a bitter, broken former gospel singer who once preached about women's rightful place in the home. Now, trapped by her own ideology, she glares at Offred with disdain and jealousy. Life for a handmaid follows strict rituals. There are shopping trips with other handmaids, always in pairs, always under surveillance. There are salvagings, public executions for those who defy the regime, and most horrifyingly, there is the ceremony. Each month during the handmaid's fertile period, she lies between Serena's knees, while the commander mechanically performs his duty. It is cold, clinical, and soul-crushing, but any sign of rebellion is punishable by death. Nolite te bastardis carborundorum. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Offred finds these words scratched into the wall of her closet, left behind by the handmaid who came before her, a woman who ultimately hanged herself. It's a tiny act of rebellion, but it becomes a lifeline for Offred. Offred's only real connection to the past is her memories. She recalls Luke, their desperate attempt to escape Gilead after women's rights were revoked. She remembers clutching her daughter as they ran through the woods, the panic as government forces closed in. Luke was captured or killed. She never saw her daughter again. The trauma is immense, but Offred clings to these memories. They remind her that she was once more than a vessel. She was a woman, a mother, a wife. Life at the commander's house follows a rigid schedule, until one night, everything changes. The commander secretly invites Offred to his study. This is forbidden. Terrified but curious, she goes. Instead of demands or threats, he offers her something shocking: Scrabble. They play the banned board game together, relishing the illicitness of it. The commander seems lonely, craving genuine human interaction. These secret meetings continue. Sometimes he lets her read old magazines. Sometimes he brings her gifts. Gradually, Offred realizes that the commander enjoys the illusion of intimacy, but he's still using her, just in a different way. He eventually takes her to Jezebel's, a secret brothel where powerful men indulge themselves. Women there wear makeup and flashy clothes, symbols of a past they can no longer legally inhabit. Among the prostitutes, Offred spots an old friend, Moira. Moira was once a rebel, fierce and unbreakable. She tried to escape Gilead, was captured, tortured, and finally broken. Seeing her here, resigned to her fate, shakes Offred's belief in resistance. Moira had been our fantasy. We hugged her to us. She was our fantasy. How could we have believed we were different? At Jezebel's, Offred and the commander have sex, away from Serena's watchful eyes. It's another violation of Gilead's rules, but both of them pretend it's harmless. Back at the house, Serena grows suspicious. She offers Offred a desperate deal: sleep with Nick, the household chauffeur, in hopes of conceiving a child. If Offred agrees, Serena promises to show her a photograph of her daughter, now living with another family. Offred agrees. The encounter with Nick is unlike anything with the commander. It's messy, awkward, passionate. For the first time in a long time, Offred feels something real, a flicker of human connection in a barren world. Their secret meetings continue, fueled by need and loneliness. Offred knows it's dangerous, but she doesn't care. For once, she's choosing something for herself. Throughout the novel, Offred offers fragmented glimpses into how Gilead came to be. The transition was swift. After a staged terrorist attack killed the president and Congress, a radical group seized control. They suspended the Constitution under the guise of restoring order. Women were stripped of all rights, first financial, then legal, then bodily. Most people were too stunned or too frightened to resist. By the time they realized what was happening, it was too late. When we think of the past, it's the beautiful things we pick out. We want to believe it was all like that. One day, a black van, known as the Eyes, the secret police, arrives at the house. Two men come for Offred. She's paralyzed with fear. Is this the end? Did someone betray her? Nick appears and whispers urgently, "Go with them." It's Mayday. Mayday is the code word for the underground resistance. Maybe Nick is saving her. Maybe he's sending her to her death. In Gilead, trust is a gamble you rarely win. As she steps into the van, Offred doesn't know her fate. Her story ends in uncertainty, just like the future she once took for granted. The novel closes with an epilogue set 200 years later. Historians discuss The Handmaid's Tale at an academic conference, analyzing Offred's account. They debate whether her story is authentic, how much blame the commander deserves, and what Offred's ultimate fate might have been. The cold, clinical tone of the historians highlights a chilling truth. Even atrocities can become academic footnotes. Even human suffering can be sterilized by time. Are there any questions? The Handmaid's Tale is a masterpiece of speculative fiction because it feels disturbingly possible. Atwood famously said that everything in Gilead was drawn from real historical events somewhere in the world. It's a story about how quickly rights can be stripped away, how easily cruelty can become normalized, and how fragile freedom truly is. But it's also a story about resistance, however small, and the enduring human spirit that refuses to be erased. Thank you for listening to Novel Summary. I'll see you next time.